One day, you're going to look around and you're going to realize that everybody loves you, but nobody likes you. And that is the loneliest feeling in the world.
I admit it, another hoe got me finished. Broke my heart, oh no you didn't.
What do you want? My dog's over there. So I've had these notes done for a long time. I've had these notes done since, I want to say Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. And I just really haven't had time to get around to this. So, welcome to the 2020 review. What did you just knock over? And this one is the New York Rangers. So, the Rangers were the first team to get eliminated in the 2020 play-in rounds of these playoffs, and they had a great comeback in the season, to say the least. This season, they were 37-28-5 with 234 goals scored and 222 goals against, summing that up for 18th place in the NHL. That's great. They had a great comeback to the season. They were decent until around the beginning of the year. The beginning of the year, they really woke up. They woke up. They took Shesterkin in. Shesterkin started playing great. And, this team, heading into these playoffs, I was thinking to myself, I think we're gonna have a great team here. And, the player statistics showed that. The first leader, Artemi Panarin, with 32 goals, 63 assists for 95 points. Great statistics for Panarin. It's great to see him come from Columbus in this season, his first season with the Rangers. And it looks like he's going to be here for a long time to come. So, I'd be pretty interested with that. The next one's Mika Zibanejad. Zibanejad had probably one of the best stories of the entire NHL this season, with scoring his 5 goals and scoring 5 goals in a single game, becoming the first player in forever to do that. Because that was insane. And the Rangers were down in that game, so the Rangers just kept coming back and coming back and coming back, and eventually they won in overtime, 5-4, 6-4 or something. So yeah, that was an insane game. Zibanejad had 41 goals, 34 assists for 85 points. You got high statistics there. Zibanejad, probably the second best player on this team, to Panarin, of course. And then third is Ryan Strome. Strome actually surprised me. I always saw Strome as a second line, third line winger, and he really proved me wrong this season. Or no, he's a center, I'm sorry. And Strome really proved me wrong this season. He had 18 goals, 41 assists for 59 points. He is pretty underrated looking at those statistics. That's great. It's great stats. I think that this team has a great future. And then there's the playoff statistics. Since this is the first team to actually make it into the playoffs, we're going to review their statistics now. So it was actually a 4-way tie for 2 points. It was Panarin, Zibanejad, D'Angelo, and someone else. Yeah, it was not a good playoffs for the Rangers. They were shut down by Carolina, absolutely shut down. One thing I saw was they could not get past the goaltenders for the Hurricanes, and that played a part in it. I think if the Rangers played against worse goaltending, they probably would have won. But, the Hurricanes, they have probably, the two most, they have, an overrated goalie and a really underrated goalie. So, it's kind of half and half for Carolina, but that's not the point. Goaltending, there are 3 goalies we're going to talk about here. We're going to talk about Georgiev, Shesterkin, and you know who else. Georgiev basically played the role as a starter this year when you look at these statistics, but not really, though. Georgiev was 17, 14, and 2. Good statistics for a starting goalie. He's going to be in New York for the next few years. So, I would think that his trade rumors now are pretty much done, or donezo, gone. Shazam. So, yeah, don't expect him to be in any trades. If they trade him, I'm going to be pretty shocked. So, we'll see. Igor Shesterkin, who has probably, the brightest future of all these goaltenders. He had a 10-2-0 record in 12 games played. The playoffs, he didn't really play. The playoffs, I think it was 0-1. So, and he's a great goalie. He has such a great future. He stepped in at a time he kind of reminded me of Binnington a bit there. Binnington stepped up to the plate at a time where the Blues were going through some bad struggles. So were the Rangers. He stepped in at the time. He kept his team in it, and they just started winning game after game after game after game. So yeah, the Rangers were playing great. And then Henrik Lundqvist playing most likely his final season with the New York Rangers this season, and it's unfortunate. He had a 10-12-3 record, so he had a losing record. I mean, he won 10 games, but these guys are split between each other. None of these guys have 20 wins. Because, you know, they were, at the time, they were still trying to find the right goaltenders, and I think they have found those right goaltenders. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I think Lundqvist goes. I think that's it. That's the end of the road for Lundqvist in New York. Might be the end of the road for Lundqvist in the NHL in general, to be honest with you. Which, I mean, really stinks. Because, you know, Lundqvist has been in the league for as long as I can remember. He's been in the league since, like, I want to say 2010, 2006, something. Yeah, he's been in the league for quite a bit. So, seeing Lundqvist go is emotional, and he's more than likely going to get his jersey retired. If he does not get his jersey retired, at least, I'm going to be very, very shocked. Expect that. That's it for kind of the sad stuff, since, you know, this team got knocked out. This team got swept in the play rounds by the Hurricanes. It really stinks, though. But anyways, that's not the point. Who are your players that you should be hyped up for? Basically, the whole team. I know that Jesper Foss and Tony DeAngelo are pending players. So, or no, DeAngelo's not pending. He's a high salary cap, so you never know. I don't know if those guys get re-signed. We'll see what happens. A lot of people are showing interest in Jesper Foss. Not a lot of interest in DeAngelo, so we'll see what happens there. It's probably because actually, no, I'm not going to mention that. With the players to be hyped for are Kaapo Kakko. Kaapo Kakko played great this season. A great rookie year. Played better than Hughes, that's for dang sure. Adam Fox, who's an up-and-coming defenseman. Some might argue he's the best defenseman on this Rangers team. And Igor Shesterkin, along with Panarin, Zibanejad, Strome, basically the whole team. As I said, yeah, Shesterkin, as I said before, I think they found their new goalie in him, and that's gonna be great for him. Now, here's the thing that the Rangers were super hyped for heading in here. First overall pick in the 2020 draft, which means they will get Lafreniere or any players in this draft, whether it's Jamie Drysdale or Yaroslav Askarov or whoever they want to select. They'll likely select Lafreniere. But yeah, this first overall pick, it adds to the players to be hyped up for. If you have a Panarin, Lafreniere, Zibanejad line, that's going to be monstrous. Or no, a Kakko, Panarin, Lafreniere line. That's absolutely insane. I can't even imagine that. That's so scary. So, you got to think about that. This is going to be an insane team next season. I have right down here, are they better? Heck yes. They are way better. I think that you know, with these teams going into their downfall years, Pittsburgh's kind of going in that direction. You know, Washington's going in that direction. But you know, New York, the Rangers, the Flyers, and I guess you can include the Hurricanes in there too, and the Blue Jackets and the Devils are just there. And you know, you include those teams. Those teams are going on an uphill rise, especially New York and Philadelphia. Those teams are going on an upward rise. The teams that have been dominating divisions for the past few years in the Metro Division are going down, are going to start hitting a downfall point. And I think that, you know, this is time for these teams to shine, and the Rangers are one of them. So, yeah, they're definitely better next season. So, yeah. Anyways, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button. I got to get back to school. I'm making this during my lunch break. So, yeah. Thank you so much for the constant support. And we'll have the Minnesota Wild episode next week. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching another 2020 review. I'll see you guys later.